Of Nebraska's property tax issues and the upcoming special session.
Yeah, it's supposed to start in 13 days. Before that, we're sitting down with some Metro lawmakers to find out what they'd like to see done to lower the tax burden.
KETV Newswatch 7's Bill Shammert has more.
You did say you are drafting bills. Are those bills to be proposed in the special session?
Yes.
Can you give us an idea of some of what you were thinking of?
I think we need to find ways to reduce our prison population. I think we also need to look at ways to bring in more revenue to the state, like, legalizing marijuana. We look around the country and we look around our border states and they're bringing in revenue that are helping pay for education and property taxes. And it's no reason outside of just pure ignorance to me that we're just sitting on the sideline.
What ideas would you like to see brought to the table during this special session?
I think we're having the wrong conversation. Our property taxes, the approach we're trying to take with eliminating tax exemptions is to grow our base. Another way to grow our base is to grow our population and to grow our workforce. And we are very short on workforce here in Nebraska. We have a massive workforce shortage. So doing things to recruit and retain workers to our state will grow our workforce, which will grow our base.
Senator Wayne, if the idea is to reduce property taxes, where would you start?
I would start with funding our county jails. Most of our county jails are sitting with people who break state laws that we pass. It is an unfunded mandate to our counties. We could save almost over $100 million to almost $200 million over a 2-year period by just funding our county jails. Second thing is we have to look at infrastructure. We have more than 90 counties, of which there are over 5 that have less than 1,000 people. All of those have a county government that is funded by local property taxes. How do we synergize, bring some synergies around cooperating or maybe even shrinking government in those areas?
We have the largest number of counties with less than 1,000 people in the country. So some of the questions that we have to ask aren't just about property taxes, aren't just about finding efficiencies within existing programs, but how do we transition our state economy for the future?
The voters voted for legalized gambling, but we still don't allow people to make bets on their phones. So currently we have people just driving across the border, essentially, as a missed revenue that we're just missing out on because we just want to be the nanny state, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Clearly, Governor Pillen's push is for property tax relief, but I'm hearing from some of you that maybe that shouldn't be the state's biggest priority. Senator Kavanaugh, where would you start?
Well, I think that property tax relief is important, but I think that you can achieve that goal through being a more broad thinker, and some of the ideas that Senator Wayne brought up, some of the issues of unfunded mandates are huge, but just generally speaking, taking a more holistic view of what the role of government is in Nebraska, what we should be funding and what we shouldn't be funding.
So the unicameral mass says Governor Pillen would need 33 votes, correct, to get anything passed. Do you envision consensus this special session?
Well, I had really hoped so at the beginning of the summer. I thought maybe we could come up with something that would address concerns about property taxes, which, I mean, a lot of people do feel the pinch of property taxes. But in the last week or so, I've been starting to be a little bit less optimistic about whether we can get this done.
Senator Wayne, is consensus possible?
I'll be leading the charge against this, so I don't know if it's possible because since last session I haven't talked to the governor.
That's Bill Shammert reporting there. Now, the biggest part of the governor's plan is to take the K-12 schools funding, the largest part of a person's property tax bill, and have the state pay for it.
Bill talked in depth with the governor about how he believes he can do that, which would cost nearly $2 billion. You can find that story on KETV.com.